Hey peoples, this is another movie review of I Lost My Body. As always, I want to thank you for listening, that really means a lot to me. And on to the review. So, I Lost My Body is a Netflix film, and it's about a cut-off hand that escapes from a dissection lab with one crucial goal, and that's to get back to its body. Also, there's another story about a young man falling in love with a girl. And that's the movie. Now, before I continue on, just so you know, this movie is in another language, so there are subtitles for those who don't speak that language. But the thing is that there's really not that much dialogue in this movie. It's more visual than anything else, and I think that actually helps the film because I wouldn't say the dialogue is too strong in this film. The visuals and actions of the character and the hand are what really carry this film. And saying that about a hand sounds really weird, but the thing is, that's what this movie is about, and it's super creative the way they do it. My favorite part about this movie is the combination of the visuals, the creativity, and the directing. And it starts off early because the hand is inside of a cooler, I guess with other disassembled bodies, I'm not sure. But it breaks out, and when it's kind of crawling along the floor, the camera is panning on it. And then when the camera pans up to kind of see the rest of the room, it's moving at the same pace as the hand, as if the hand is looking up. You know, a hand does not have eyes, obviously, but the movie gives you its point of view, and I really enjoyed that part of it. The animation is also really great in this movie. I don't know if it was hand drawn, but it kind of looks like it was. One thing that surprised me in this movie was the emotion. I guess I want to call it emotion, but the attachment you have to the hand. The movie wants you to feel like the hand is actually alive. It's its own entity, and it kind of feels like an animal at times. And surprisingly, you get attached to this hand very easily. There were moments in this movie where I was scared for the hand. And that just sounds crazy to me, but somehow they pull this off. Now, the unfortunate part about the movie is that it transitions to our main character, or I guess our other main character, which would be the young man. When his story begins, I instantly become more interested in it than the stuff that's going on with the hand. The hand's journey coincides with his, but it feels distracting after his story starts and you really get sucked into it. But I will say that might just be me because I'm a hopeless romantic, so when you introduce the possibility of a romance inside of a movie, I'm going to be more drawn to that versus a cut-off hand that's roaming around a city. Unfortunate for me, the love story in this movie feels super weak. I wish we got to spend more time with the characters getting to know one another and actually showing them falling in love and more conversation and more interaction between them, but we really don't get that at all. And I was really disappointed in the ending of the movie. It felt less like a creative choice and more like they didn't know where to take the story, so it just ends, which really sucked at that moment because that whole ending scene was so creative. They do something creative with sound and a recorder and one character listening to something else another character recorded and basically imagining what another character did just by the sound from the recording. Super creative, but the ending just ends and it feels incomplete, and I wanted more out of the story. One last random thing, the hand begins to hallucinate certain images. It was strange to me because at a point where it happens, which is about halfway to near the end of the movie, everything the hand has been interacting with has been the real world, but for some reason they throw in this random figure that is definitely a hallucination, and it didn't feel like it fit the rest of the film. But all in all, even with a weak story, I still enjoyed the movie for the most part, so I would suggest watching it just for the animation alone. I really like that, and the creativity in this film is really great, so that's something to enjoy. But that's all, peoples. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate all you're doing. Thank you for the likes, the thumbs up, the comments. Really enjoy the comments. Let me know if you're going to watch this. Please continue to have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you later.